I have seen a lot of people asking, how do I keep my toddler, preschooler, early elementary age child busy while they're at home with me? These are the kiddos that require a lot of gross motor play to burn off energy. People are interested in doing sensory activities but don't want to waste rice and dried pasta right now, or even shaving cream. Totally understandable. So I'm going to come at you with some ideas. Idea number 1, Easter egg hunt. 'Tis the season. If you have some Easter eggs, either from last year or for this year laying around, this can be a great activity. Kids tend to really get into it. They know Easter is coming. It can be exciting to go find things. Are you okay? Sorry, I have my little helper and she's busy this morning. And you don't have to fill them with candy. Obviously, you don't necessarily want to load your kids up on sugar. You can fill them with Cheerios, goldfish crackers, grapes, anything you have laying around. Or if you don't want to use snacks, depending on the age of your child, they may or may not really like finding money. Nickels, dimes, quarters, great rewards. And if you have slightly older kids, they might like finding little slips of paper that say things like 10 minutes of extra screen time, or one-on-one time with mom, dad, grandma, whoever they're with. Just get creative, and it doesn't have to be Easter eggs. You could very easily do small Tupperware containers with things in them and hide them around. You could do little Ziploc baggies hidden around. Sort of the sky's the limit. I will say, for a pro hack, my parents used to do this with us, and I think it's genius. If you have multiple kids of different ages, assigning each kid, if you're using Easter eggs, a color can be very helpful. For instance, maybe I was green, my sister was pink, my brother was blue, my other sister was yellow. This prevents older kids from finding all the eggs before younger kids can even have a chance. You want an egg? If you're using Ziploc bags, maybe you're writing their name on them. Or just using different rooms in the house. Maybe you're hiding their eggs in their bedrooms. Again, just get creative with it. But this can be a really fun activity, and if you let them run around and get kind of silly with it, it'll burn some energy. Another activity we do with our 10-month-old that she really likes, but that can totally work with older toddlers, is like a discovery bin or a discovery basket. We use a bin. This is the one that we use. And what it is different things from around the house that she doesn't normally get to play with. They're not toys. And I switch it out. She's getting excited already because she sees it. I switch out the items every night. Hang on, I'll let you play with it. Hang on, have a seat. I know, hang on. Okay, so let me show you real quick so I can let her have it. She has an old oatmeal container, the classic muffin tin, which she does sometimes get to play with, a potato masher, and a spatula. Okay, here you go. Those bins are also great for a sensory idea, and that is water play. Filling those bins up, even halfway with some soapy water. Supervise your child as is appropriate for their age and your comfort level. And creating a toy washing station can be something that kids really enjoy, and that has the benefit of clean toys and clean hands. So what I mean is, and it could just be a bowl as well, but maybe just fill it up this much with a little soapy water in it, or even just warm water if you don't want to do the soap. And maybe it's Barbie bath day, or a car wash, or Lego cleaning. I do recommend doing it either on the floor, on top of some towels, or an old blanket, something like that for easy cleanup, thinking ahead. But most little kids really love playing in water. You could also do it in the bathtub, again, depending on how you want to supervise. Along those same lines for water play is getting 2 containers and filling one up with water and having the other one empty, and having your child transfer the water from one bowl to the other. You could have them do it with a ladle. They could do it, again, with the Easter eggs. There's little holes in Easter eggs, so it's going to be a little more challenging. Yeah, you could give them little pieces of sponge to soak it up and squeeze it, or bigger pieces of sponge. Anything that's going to hold their attention, for a couple minutes at a time is going to buy you a couple minutes maybe to get the dishes done while you're keeping an eye on them. So water play can be great. Kids tend to love it. It can be messy, but with really easy cleanup. Going back to gross motor play and tying in water play, if you have a room that's somewhat long, you can put a bigger container at one end and then another big container at the other end, and maybe give your child a cup or a small bowl or a sponge, depending on what you want to clean up, and have them transfer the water from that container to the other, kind of running back and forth. It's all about what you want to do in the cleanup stage and what you trust your child with as well. Another gross motor play activity that most kids love is obstacle courses. You can use what you have laying around, like I said. Maybe it is some painter's tape and drawing a line on the floor, and your child needs to walk along the line. If you have an older child, maybe they need to hop on one foot down the line. If you don't have painter's tape, you could use a rolled up blanket, and the length of the blanket is their balance beam. You don't want to use your blankets, get their stuffed animals, and maybe they have to jump over the stuffed animal. Maybe they have to pick the stuffed animal up and move it to some other place in the room. You can set different chairs out and have them, zigzag in between them. Again, it's just how creative can you get? Look at what you have laying around. What do you mind versus not mind your child using, and using that. If you're not adverse to screen time or extra screen time, GoDoodle.com has some great exercise movement videos. A lot of schools use it, so it's kid friendly. But again, that depends on your comfort level with your child having screen time. If you don't want to do an obstacle course, but you still want your kiddo to move, the 2-bowl system, particularly if your child can read, although there are ways to do it if your child can't, can come back into play, because you can use slips of paper, and in one bowl write maybe 1 to 10 on the slips of paper and put those in here, and on the other bowl either write some exercises or find pictures and fold them up and put them in this bowl, and then your child grabs a number and an exercise and they perform that. Bonus points if you do it with them. Another way to do that as well is to get a toy that they have a lot of that maybe has different shapes, and assign the exercise to either the color or the shape. So it could be, if you get the bridge, maybe you're doing a plank. If you get the stick, maybe you're running in place. And then do, red is 2, blue is 4, green is 6, and yellow is 8. Also, use your kids to build their own things. Going back to the obstacle course idea, you can use blocks to build a path that your child has to follow. And by you do it, I mean have your child do it. Maybe your older child builds one for your younger child, and then they switch. This can also be a great time to help your children pare down what they have. If you have a child who has a ton of toys and they don't maybe play with them all, have them sort them out. What don't they want anymore? What do they maybe want to sell at a garage sale? What do they want to donate? And what's trash? What have they completely destroyed? A quick interruption for some reality. Things aren't always going to go smoothly, and accepting that and just realizing that those moments will come will probably help your mood. Tell them. I know. So you want to go outside, but it's been raining, so we can't. Anyway, to wrap up real quick is maybe think, depending on what you already have in place, is adding different ways to reward your children for getting things done that they need to get done. And this obviously works best with older children, and it doesn't have to be money, food, that kind of rewards. Think screen time, think, maybe they really like Legos and you normally limit the amount of time they have for that. But I know for myself as an adult, if I have a job, I'm not going to do my best work unless I'm getting paid. That's just the nature of why I work. But if your child is all of a sudden doing all of their schoolwork at home when they're used to doing it at school, it might be worth your sanity and their motivation to think about doing something like, hey, for every 30 minutes of homework that you do, or maybe it's extra chores you're assigning them, whatever it is, forever, X amount of time you spend doing this, we will let you have X amount of time doing something you really enjoy. So again, an example could be for every 30 minutes of homework that you get done, we'll let you have an extra 10 minutes of, tablet time or Lego time or one-on-one time with, dad when he gets home this evening. Whatever motivates your kiddo. Okay, so I think my little helper is officially done with me filming this video, which is fine because I've exhausted the ideas that I can think of off the top of my head. If you have questions, let me know in the comments, particularly if you have some things on hand and you're not sure what to do with them for an activity, or, you have a child of a certain age and certain developmental level. Knowing that information can help me come up with some more ideas. But I hope you guys have a great day, that you're surviving and thriving in self-isolation, or if you're still having to work, I hope that's going well for you. This is tough times. Everybody's situation is tough, varying degrees, obviously. But we just need to be kind and patient with one another, including our own families. Have a great day. Bye! Oh, good you say bye. 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 Bye.